code talkers. So I want you to try to look them up because they are fascinating. And so basically, remember in World War II where we had the Harlem Hellfighters and the government, the United States was so racist against African Americans that they would not let them fight with them? Well, it was kind of like that in World War II with the American Indian population. They were very biased against the American Indians. They were able to go to war, but they were very biased against them. But then in the Pacific Theater, so with two parts of World War I, one is in Europe and one is with the Japanese in the Pacific Ocean and in that area, and they were getting our messages and they were able to decode them and they knew where our ships would be. And so we were beginning to have a lot of problems. The Americans were having a lot of problems. But there were some men from the Navajo tribe in America, and they are Native Americans, and they speak with a language that is not like any other language. So if you look at English and Spanish and French and Portuguese, those languages all have a few of the words that are the same because they're all Romance languages. They all stem from Latin. And if you look at Japanese and Chinese and Korean, many of those have words that are the same because they all stem from Chinese. And so a lot of languages stem from other languages, and so you can kind of figure out what they're saying by taking parts of other languages. But not Navajo. Navajo is completely on its own. It doesn't have any stem from any other language. And so the Navajo men said, you know something, we should talk in a code so we'll make up a code and then we'll speak it in Navajo. So maybe they would say, white light or something like that, or maybe black door. Black door means this part of the sea or something like that. And so then they would speak it in Navajo, and then the other side would know what black door meant, and then they would translate it for the people, the commanders of those ships, so that they knew which way they were supposed to go without the Japanese knowing. And guess what? It completely worked. It was really cool. So they would come up with their code and then they would type it into Morse code and send it to someone else who would translate it from the Navajo. And they became one of our biggest assets in World War II with spying. So it was really cool what the Navajos did. So here, we're going to do this in class, but I really want you to try to read up on the Navajo code talkers. And finally, Germany's borders all in order. Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Poland, and Switzerland are all on Germany's borders. And so that's it. So next we're going to go to timeline cards. So we'll see you in a second. Beep. See you in a bit.